So I have been crying and crying and crying and crying for the dog Snuggles. That's why I wrote him a poem, and I called the Pima County, Arizona, I guess, animal control offices. There are about 5 people to call. I will put the information under the video. If anyone has a heart, please call these people and ask them to let Snuggles the dog go back home to his beloved family. He has been sitting in prison for over 9 months. This is unimaginably, infinitely heartbreaking and unfair and unjust and unethical. So I need as many people as possible to help Snuggles and his family to get him out of prison and to be sent back home to his beloved family, who are waiting for him for 9 months, and he is waiting for 9 months in prison, lying on the floor like the Sphinx, looking out through the prison bars into the hallway, hoping that someone will come, open the door, and take him for a walk at least, or spend time with him and stand up for him with a lawyer and get him out of prison and bring him home safely so he can be with his family again. There was the dog Lucy. She also was in prison, but not as long as Snuggles. But she was in prison also, I guess, for several months as well. And the community of animal lovers stood up for her, and she was finally released and brought back to her family. And that family of Lucy is now very, very strongly petitioning for Snuggles. And there is a large group of people, of animal lovers, who are petitioning for Snuggles. But the people of the animal control offices, they seem to ignore everyone. And we just don't understand why. What is going on there? What is happening? Why is this happening? Okay, when there are so many people that are pleading with them and petitioning to them to bring Snuggles home. Okay, so if you can help, please call these people and talk to them politely, talk to them in a nice way. If we get impatient, then they will hang up, and they might hang up either way, but it's better to be nice, you know. It's important to be nice, no matter how heartbroken we are. Okay, so that's why I wrote the poem, because I'm heartbroken over this situation. I cannot even imagine how I would be feeling in a situation like this. I would be so devastated. It would be an overload for me. I cannot even imagine. So I don't know the family. I don't know, you know. I just know that they're heartbroken. Okay, they leave comments on X, and they are petitioning and petitioning. Okay, they all love Snuggles the dog. Okay. If that happened to me, I don't know how I would handle this psychologically, because I'm an INFJ, Sigma INFJ. I would get a nervous breakdown, most likely. So these people, they seem fairly stable, and put together, but they care about their dog, you know. They deeply care about their dog. I'm sure they cry. I'm sure the children are crying for the dog. This is very traumatic for children to have an animal taken away from them. Just like that. Just because he apparently nipped at someone, but he was stressed out, and it was in defense of his family. Okay. So now this family is white. Okay, and I have the feeling that this entire situation is about race, because violent murderers who are black, they go into prison and come right back out. Okay, they get almost no penalty at all, almost no sentence at all. A murderer goes back out on parole after months or something. And then there was a dog. I think this was also in Arizona. I don't remember exactly where it was, but somewhere in the western region. And a black man lived there, and he had a dog in the house, and the black man was, I guess, somewhere else. He was shopping or something. He left the dog there, and while he went shopping, 2 black men, criminals, broke into his house and tried to steal his belongings. The dog who lived there, or 2 dogs actually. There were 2 dogs that the black man had. 2 dogs murdered, killed that invader, mauled him down, and he was dead. And I was glad that they got rid of a violent criminal, and then they seized the dogs, and they were on the euthanasia list. As always, when dogs kill a human, it doesn't matter how bad the human is that they kill. But a large group of people, of animal lovers, petitioned, and because the owner of the dogs, the caregiver of the dogs, is black, because of that, he got his dogs back. Okay, so obviously, what is happening in the United States, in England, in Europe, worldwide, it is a bias against white people. It is extreme injustice against white people. It's a war on white people. And people somehow think that this is justified. And they make white people's innocent dogs suffer for that. Suffer for this war on white people. Think about this for a second, okay? This is no different than any ethnic cleansing war that has ever been conducted on this earth. That's the truth, okay? You think, white people, they can take it, right? No, they can't. They're highly sensitive too. Okay, they have their pain too, they have their suffering, their struggles, just like you, like everyone else. They're not richer than you are. They suffer too, they lose their homes because they are taxed out of their homes. They end up homeless on the street in a car if they're lucky, or in a van. Maybe they have already enough, hopefully, enough paranoia for a long time that made them save up every penny to buy a motorhome, because they know their time in their house is counted. Okay, they see it coming. So many of them end up in a motorhome. Now they have entire communities of old white people in motorhomes that meet once a year in Arizona. Okay, and then the other communities, the ones that are getting our tax money thrown at them, they laugh about these old white people. Look at these old white fogies meeting there once a year in Arizona in their motorhomes. Yeah, that's because they are taxed out of their homes that they have worked for their entire lives. How would you feel if that happened to you? One woman, I saw all of this on X, also the only platform where we still have freedom of speech. Okay. One woman lost her ranch. She had 2 or 3 horses, or 4 horses. I don't remember. She had a few horses. She loves these horses. She couldn't pay the property tax anymore. Ended up homeless, I guess maybe in a van or something. How can she take care of her horses? She has probably had to give the horses away, right, to other people, not knowing what's going to happen to her horses. Can you imagine? Can anyone imagine this? Anyone who's sensitive? Can you imagine how traumatic this is for a person? This is a war on white people. Gavin Newsom is a puppet of the string holders. He is white, but he is fighting the war against white people for the string holders because he's being paid for it. Millions of dollars. Kamala Harris is fighting the war against white people. She probably wouldn't even have to be paid for it, but she is paid for it, millions. And Javier Becerra is also paid millions to fight the war against white people. So, if any of those take the seat in California, California will be finished. If any of these people take the seat in the White House, this entire country will be done. We can move out, move to Cambodia, Vietnam. I hope they will take us in. That's all I can say to this. Peace and love for all living beings.